Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guys, y'all know how excited I get when it's time for foundations, right? Like, ooh, I'm so excited. And today is no different because not only is a foundation girl, but we have a stick. And with me, stick foundations can go really, really good or really, really bad. And oftentimes, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of twiddles toward the bad section, but I thought it would be really interesting to take a look at this one from MAC. It is their new Studio Fix matte foundation stick. And the reason I was really excited about this foundation launch and testing it out is because when it comes to MAC foundations, I'm pretty split down the middle. I did try their liquid full coverage one and it didn't really work that well for me. It left me feeling kind of thick, kind of cakey looking on the skin. Whereas when I tried their powder foundation, I had this whole routine down and I would wear that as my only foundation. And oh my God, you guys, it looked so, so beautiful back when I had oily skin. It would just press in and it was absolutely stunning. And as a powder foundation, that one is still ranked among my top favorites. So as you guys can imagine, I needed a little bit of a tiebreaker here. So hence the Studio Stick foundation. Now, let's go ahead and read about this from the Ulta.com website, which is where I picked it up. You can obviously get this at MAC as well from their website, or I'm assuming in stores. Also, just so you guys know, if you keep reading, it does say that there's a little thing you can click, like a link, and it'll help you pick your shade. Now, I didn't use that because why would I want to know my actual shade? I mean, that would just be boring. So I just picked NW13, and moving down into the description box here, it says that this is portable perfection anytime, anywhere. MAC's Studio Fix matte foundation stick is an easy on-the-go multitasking foundation stick that perfects skin tone, contours, curves, and highlights features. Achieve buildable medium coverage with this ultra blendable formula for a natural shine-free matte finish that lasts for 24 hours. Available in 33 shades for ultimate self-expression. All right, so here we are in the package. Let's go ahead and unveil this little puppy together. Ooh, I like the presentation. Very sleek, very classic MAC look. Twist up, and the color actually doesn't look that shabby. All right. My gosh, hello shade matching kind of queen. Yes. I love that I don't do an awful job one time and I'm like, oh, you're a master. Mwah, chef's kiss. Like, no, Paige, you're bound to get one right eventually. Also, by the way, before I go in with foundation, I did go ahead, prime and prep both sides. And per usual for that, I used two different primers, Tatcha Silk Canvas on this side, and then on this side, I used my e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer, just to give it a little something different, a little bit of light tackiness, but also it like settles in really well. And yeah, just thought you guys might want to know. And now it is time for the main event, my friends. Let's go ahead and get to applying here. I'm going in, as you can see, pretty generously with this because when I go in with stick foundation, I usually have to do a lot of building and buffing with it just because I'm naturally so textured. And then to buff that in here, I'm just going to grab my Fenty foundation brush and I'm really going to focus on just packing this into the skin and maintaining as much coverage as we can. You know, for the first layer happening right now, this doesn't look too bad. I'm not getting a ton of coverage. It's definitely just evening it out at this point. I think for this foundation, I'm definitely going to need to see if it's something you can build, because that's going to make a pretty big difference. Like one coat just over here, nothing on this side. You can see it evens out a lot of skin tone, but it doesn't really give me much in the way of coverage. But it does look beautiful on the skin, like right through here. It looks so pressed. The only place it looks really bad is my nose, like right up in this region. That doesn't look good. It's settled into every single pore. So let's go ahead here and just see if we can build up a little bit here. And I'm sticking to this side of my face right now just so that way we've got a little bit of a comparison for the other side to kind of see how much coverage we can build. Okay, so the nose isn't looking much better at this point. It's still settling into all of the pores, which you'll see in the up close here in a second. As far as the rest of it though, I actually think that that looks really, really pretty. I feel like it has a really nice look to the skin. It's definitely medium coverage, so they were right on about that. I feel like up in this region, it does pull a little bit cakey. I want to grab actually real quick here, my Dose of Color sponge that is damp, and I just want to try pressing that in. Also, for me personally, I don't know if this is with anybody else or not, but when I try to apply a stick foundation, I cannot apply a stick foundation and blend it in strictly with a sponge. I have to go in and really press it into the skin with a brush, and then I can smooth it with this if I need to. But if I go in the other way and I try to just straight apply it with one of these, it just lifts all the coverage. So if that's something that you also struggle with, try a brush and it might help. But from here, I think I'm ready to try the other side now that I can kind of see what we're looking at. So two coats over here, nothing on this side. I think it looks actually pretty good, and I like the way that it's settling into the skin. It does have a beautiful, like, healthy look up through these pores right now, and I'm really, really happy about that. So let's go ahead and do this side. Also, this color isn't that bad. I feel like it looks really good. So you can definitely see that I got a little bit of coverage on this little guy right here. It's not fully covered, but it is a decent medium. I think I'm gonna build it up just a freckle bit here. Just a freckle bit. Who am I? All right, beautiful people, I went ahead and zoomed you in so you can get a look at my actual skin up close here. This is a good way for us to get to look at coverage and finish and all of that good stuff. And I feel like you can definitely see, like I mentioned before, the redness and all of that is poking through, but it looks very, very smooth, like up through here. Like, look at how nice that looks on my skin right now. And there's nothing else doing that job. Like, that's just the foundation really settling in. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and conceal. I'm going to grab my e.l.f. Camo Concealer here. This is in the shade Fair Rose. Real quick here, what I'm going to do is on the under eyes, I'm going to throw a little bit of my Airspun powder. This is the extra coverage. I'm also going to go ahead here and press that into the nose just to make sure she is locked and loaded, as well as my Hulk wrinkle up here because she's getting a little bit creasy. Gotta set her down, girl, before she takes over a whole damn city. And then per usual, something I like to do on this channel before I set the rest of my face is I like to do a touch test over this area just to get a feel for those of you that don't like to set your skin, if you need to set it or not. So, ooh, actually, you know what, you guys? I'd say that that settles down really nicely. It's not a complete dry down, but it is a very nice, soft dry down. And I think if you wanted to blend on top of that without setting your skin, I think you could get away with it because it's not overly tacky or dewy. It just feels nice and light, but it's not like sucked down to your skin. You know what I mean? It's like a nice in-between. Ooh, I like that. And now to go ahead and set the rest of my face, I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is something I've been testing out. I'm going to take this shade right here. This is out of the new Hourglass Ghost palette, which I did do a full review of the entire collection, and I will link it up here if you missed it. But I'm going to take and run through these two finishing powders right here with my little Sigma F10, and I am just going to use both of those to very lightly set the rest of my face. All right, you guys, I went ahead and got everything settled down, and I actually really like the way that this looks on the skin. Again, it is very soft. Now, I do feel like when setting it, I did lose a little bit of coverage over this area as well as this little section right down in here. So something to keep in mind when you set it, you might just lose a touch of coverage. I still feel like overall I do have a good medium coverage, and once I go in with my bronzer, my blush, and all of that, it usually compensates a little bit more. But so far, so good. I think it looks nice on the skin. Everything except the nose. The nose is still just a little bit sketchy, right? Right on the sides, right there and right there. Now that we are to this point, you guys know the drill. I'm going to go ahead, run off of camera. I actually have another video to shoot, so I'm going to do that. And when I come back, we're going to go ahead and discuss how long this has been on my skin, how it's wearing, so on and so forth. So hang tight and I will be right back. And all right, beautiful people, I am back. The rest of my makeup is on. And of course, you will have already seen all of this in yesterday or the day before's video at some point earlier this week. I will link up here my review of the Urban Decay Honey Drop Bulk Collection. And oh, honey child, look at my face, girl. Look at this. Look at this sexy devil. You definitely need to check that video out if you have not done so. And again, I will link it. Even if you just want to know what the eye look like. Come on. I mean, it's so good. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this foundation, shall we? Because that's why we are here today. And I'm going to go ahead and throw up the up close of what my face is looking like right now so we can talk about it. So the first thing that you'll probably notice is that overall, cheek to cheek, I think it looks really, really nice. I'm not having any issues really in the way of texture being emphasized. The only issue that I am having, though, that does seem to be reoccurring, whether it's the jawline or the forehead or anything like that, is this weird kind of emphasis on like creasy kind of texture. But nonetheless, I am going to go ahead, run off of camera. I'm going to finish out my wear test and wear this for a few more hours. That way we get like a good day in. But this is what we're looking like so far. It definitely has its good, its bad, otherwise indifferent. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my day and I'll step back on here in a minute. All right, you guys, it is officially the end of the day and your girl's been out here living her best little filming life. I have filmed multiple videos today. I've been cleaning and doing all kinds of stuff, and I wanted to step back on real quick and give you my final thoughts on how this whole thing wore. I will be doing, of course, the insert for the close-up like I normally do, but I wanted to mention to you guys before we do that the camera, while I'm panning around, is going to stay in certain places longer, and while that is happening, it's mainly going to be like in this region right here, up around the nose right here, and then on the forehead. It might linger in that area, and that's because those are the areas that I'm going to be talking about the most, so just something to keep in mind. Normally it's a lot more fluid of a movement, but let's go ahead and get into that and kind of talk about where things are at. So while you're looking at that foundation, the biggest problem that I'm having is the way that it's looking like almost dry on my face along the jawline, and then around my mouth it's actually kind of separating, and it's starting to just look very kind of chunky. Nothing has actually like come off or rubbed off my skin at this point, but I just wanted you guys to see like that texture, because that's very much so the direction it's heading in. It's just really breaking apart. The same thing is happening, of course, on the other side. Very dry and cakey around the mouth, up toward the nose, and then the forehead is just, I don't even know what to say at this point. It looks like Morse code, but in lines on my forehead. It is just all over the place. They're very much so more pronounced than usual, which is not something I look for at all. It does look amazing on camera. I love the way it looks. It also looks really nice in just a plain old photo. You'd be shocked at the amount of foundations that look really good on like here on movable camera, but then when you take a selfie, girl, they have you all kinds of busted. So this one looked really nice in both of those mediums, and I really like the way that it blended onto the skin, and it did press in nicely, especially for a stick foundation. That's something that I do kind of struggle with. So for that reason, if I had to use this and mix it again, I think for longevity, coverage, and all of the above, I would probably want to mix this with like my Catrice HD Full Coverage, something like that, something to really give me a long wearing aspect, but also a little more coverage. And then I might even mix in something with a little bit of glow. Not that this was overly matte. I really liked the way actually that the matte stayed throughout the day. I'm not overly oily, so it didn't cause me any issues in that respect, but I would love to see that combination, like this plus Catrice, plus maybe a little bit of something glowy, whether it's like a Farsali base or something like that, just to give me a little bit of glow. Lately I'm in like this glowy mood. You don't need it, but it's really nice looking. So for me, I think that's probably how I would wear it as far as the aspects that I look for in a foundation, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, not every foundation is a standalone. I love to mix foundations, and I just think that this is a prime candidate for mixing for multiple reasons, but the biggest one being the way that it did go onto my skin and press in. I just think that's a beautiful quality, and pairing that with something that I only need a little bit of, like the Catrice, I just think it could be a really beautiful match. But those are my thoughts so far. I would love to hear from you guys down below. What do you think? Were you curious about this? Leave it all down in the comments. And I want to mention to you real quick before I go, if you don't follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, they're both linked down below. And if you are on Instagram specifically, lately I've really been getting into the IGTVs, and I've been making little videos for you guys, 1 minute, 2 minute, 4 minutes. They are like full face get ready with me's, but they're done to music, and just I have been enjoying it so much, and I'm really trying to grow that part of my social branding. So if you're into that, you want to see more from me, whether it's just a get ready with me, hair, nails, whatever, go over to the IGTV, let me know that you're there, that this video sent you, or just follow me and check it out, and don't say a word. I don't care, but I just really want you guys to get the most out of my content, and a lot of people were really wanting to see me kind of delve into that side, and it's been really nice to do it. So go ahead, check that out, and you guys, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, don't forget, you can check me out there, you can subscribe, turn on your post notifications here, because I do upload 5 videos a week. If you're new here and you don't know that, hello, hi. They go up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in good old Northern Michigan. And you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Oh, I think I got something in my eyeball. And by something, I mean like Godzilla. Oh, that's right. Time for nighttime page to commence. What do you think? She's looking all kinds of good. Yes, honey. I need my hair clip. I need my hair clip. Seriously, where's my hair clip? Just had... It's not like on me, is it? It's not up here, is it? Seriously, I've done that before. I'll clip it to my shirt, never see it again. I was the king of the forest. All right, check baby, check baby. 1, 2, 3. Mic is on and it is listening to me. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige. This is Seeking Alexandria. And guys, today I'm well excited. I'm just gonna put all my words together. Who needs enunciation?